Well, hello. We are back again. We're on Route 94 on the way out to like Campo. We just passed the little town of Potrero. I'm gonna go back that way. I see a lot of these dirt roads that I'm dying to like just explore to see where they go. But last weekend I was out on the Otay truck trail and dropped my bike. I hit a ridge on the trail, and I pulled my back out, and I've been in pain all week. And I'm on this dirt road right here, right now. I don't know where this goes. I'm not going to go very far on it because I really think it's just like somebody's private drive. It looks sort of neat, but I would really like to go further. But here's the deal. I can't risk dropping my bike today because I can't risk putting my back, getting it all messed up again. It's just too painful. And I see all these places that I would love to explore, but I have to keep things, I gotta, stay checked with reality. And I gotta wait for it to heal up, because on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm right about halfway, about 4.5 of pain right now. But I'm so used to dealing with the pain, and I like to ride so much, I just say screw it, I want to get out. And this is really a good road for a sport bike, where you can really have some fun in these twisties. This goes all the way out to El Centro behind me and into San Diego. This is really rugged terrain. Last weekend we lost a dual sport guy, lost his life out here in the Otay mountain range. Very unfortunate. And this is something we all have to deal with, especially when you ride by yourself. There's dangers in that. He was an older gentleman like myself. I don't really know the details, but I was very sorry to hear. I was actually riding the same day that this guy got in trouble and apparently went off the cliff or something happened. He did die, so it's very unfortunate to hear about that, but shit does happen. But that's why I say, you have to be, oh, there's a nice little dirt road down there, there's all these little roads off of here that I'm really itchy to like just go and check out. But hopefully if my back can get down to like level 1 or 2 pain, I'll try to go on some of those. And by that time I should have my SD card for my Garmin GPS, so I can save some of the tracks, so I know where the hell it is. If they turn out to be a good ride, it's hard for me to remember sometimes where the hell I am. It happens when you get to be an old fart. But yeah, unfortunately this guy perished on his bike. And that's why, I see a lot of trails that turn into single track kind of situations. But there again, I'm just not going to put myself in that situation. If anything were to be happen, I mean, no one's even going to know you're there. Like here's a little trail. See this trail up here on the left? That looks like a little hill climb there. I'm not really crazy about hill climbs. Not in my condition. Yeah, this little town of Potrero's only got like 650 people. This is real boonies here. Mexico is not very far. It's all agriculture here. There's nothing really going on out here. You know, sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should go and get another sport bike, because I enjoy riding these twisties. And I probably would not get a crotch rocket because I do not like to lay down. I like to be in an upright position, only because there again, you know, bad back. I've borrowed other friends' sport bikes, Ninjas and stuff, and they're good bikes, but it kills my back. And I don't want to do something that after I'm done, I can't walk for a day. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. So, you know, that was the little post office there. This is about 30 some miles from where I live. It's a pretty ride though, but this kind of road is better if you're on a street bike, because you can really hammer it out. You know, my little dual sport here is 60, 65, it's got its tongue out, you know. But it's a good bike off-road. It's more than ample for what I do. A lot of real hardcore riders, you know, they want a KTM or they want a Husky and blah blah blah. Excellent bikes, but like I mentioned before, they're really I personally can't justify spending 10, 11 grand for a bike that excels that well off-road, only because I'm not you know, I'm not racing off-road. I'm not a motocross guy. I don't even have that sharp of skills for it, so it's not worth it for me to get the latest, greatest, you know. I mean, I guess if you have the extra money, it's nice, but I'm not getting any younger, so I might have to deal with the reality of, if I stay on two wheels, I might have to switch over and really, you know, do more of this kind of riding. Like there was a Honda African Twin that just passed me. Those big adventure bikes, you know, they can be nice, but they're a heavy bike, man. And the way I look at it, if you're taking a 500, 600 pound bike, I mean, they're even heavier than KLRs. And, you know, we all know KLRs are the John Deere on two wheels. I mean, I had one, and they're too freaking heavy when you drop them. See that road right there? Oh, you know, I really want to, I will come back and I will do that. I don't think that's just dirt. I don't think that's super gnarly, but I want to heal up, you know. It kills me to have to say that. It kills me to pass some of these little roads, because I see them, you know. I see them even when I'm driving in my truck. It's like, ooh, I wonder what's back there. And that's what's always gotten me into dual sports, because, you know, when you're even on your street bike, Now here, Route 188, that'll take you south. That takes you right to Tecate, the border of Mexico. You know, I always like to explore. But I have to stay in my reality check, and sometimes that's hard to do. You know, if I was 30 years old, it would be a different story. And I know people say, oh, blah, blah, blah. But we all have to do what's right for us. And nobody knows your situation better than yourself. And like I said, look what happened to that unfortunate guy last week. He, from what I read and found out, he was right. You know, he was an experienced off-road rider. But you know, they always say the best swimmers can die too. You know, you could have a freak accident, just like when I dropped my bike last week. It was not on anything that particularly gnarly. You know, it was just I hit a rut the wrong way. You know, and it forced my wheel to go one way, and the momentum of the bike still wanted to go straight. So in that situation, I mean, I wasn't going very fast at all, you know, maybe 10 miles an hour. So, I mean, the actual, you know, there was really no damage. I mean, I moved my hand guards. I had to realign those. But, I mean, it was like no big deal. But it just goes to show you that, you know, any accident, as small as it can, you know, as small as it is, can happen just really quick, you know. And like I said, I don't know the particulars. I don't know how he crashed. I don't know, you know, if he went actually off the trail, down the embankment or whatever. But they were looking for this guy for you know, several days. And then the bad news came that, I guess, you know, that they had a bunch of people out searching. It's unfortunate. I hate to hear about hikers or anybody that's doing a sport that they love to you know, die that way. Some people say, oh, well, he died what he loved doing. Well, that's true, but you know, most people don't go out and think that it's going to be their last day. But that's the mysterious part of life. We never know. So you do have to live your life and enjoy every day that you got and be thankful for it. We all take life for granted. We all think we're invincible, especially when you're young. You think you're never going to die. That's why I see these kids on bikes that it's just amazing what they do, and they don't get hurt. But you know, sooner or later, you do stupid things too many times, it's going to catch up to you. So I don't wish any accident on even my worst enemy, because I'm not into that kind of thing. But now we're in Barrett Junction. All these little towns, I mean, you blink and you're in and out of them. But yeah, if you like to do the twisties, and if you're in Southern California, as you can see, this is a pretty cool road. And especially if you're on a dual sport, this does have trails off of it. And when we get up to the turnoff for the Otay truck trail, I will point that out. I will go back that route, and I'm going to take another dirt road that's not the Otay trail, it's just a dirt road, and I think it goes down to Otay Mesa or Bonita or somewhere close to the border. But I'll do that when I remove myself from the injured list. I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you're still in pain, why are you on your bike? Well, hello, I'm not going to just sit on the couch all weekend, you know. I don't buy into this quarantine bullshit. And just riding on the street, on the tarmac here, I mean, you know, there's another little road, although it had a gate. But, you know, on a bike, you can usually get around a gate pretty easily. So I've seen several places that I would venture and check out. But hopefully in another couple weeks. I'll start to hopefully. I really need to get back in the pool. I need to start swimming again, because that's what really helps strengthen my lower back muscles and helps things feel better. But all this bullshit virus stuff has got all the pools closed. And the pool at my house is really too small to do laps in, but you know, I'll do what I can. But if I could get back in the pool, I can recover much faster. This is what I call Flintstone country. All these rocks. It makes you think, like, who put all these rocks here? Nature's really something. This bike is the little bike that can. Well, you know what? I had to take my saddlebags off. I got tired of melding them. Because I was running some Nelson Rig saddlebags, which I like, and are good bags for the money. But I was not using a rack. They were just like hung over my seat and tied onto the frame. And on the right side of the bike where the muffler was, even though I put extra insulation, an extra piece of aluminum, it still melted right through the plastic. Actually put a big hole right in my saddlebag. And I always carry a tool roll, and it melted that freaking, I mean, yeah, so I finally said, well, this is not going to work, you know, I gotta, so I took them off, and I may at some point get a metal rack. That's if I decide to keep this bike long term, I might put racks for saddlebags. But by the time you're all said and done, they have some good racks for dual sports, like on Twisted Throttle. The racks alone are going to run you about $1.50. And the saddlebags are usually, you know, if you get decent ones, you know, wolf bags or something, some decent bags, you're looking at $2 bills. So you can easily have 400 and some bucks with racks and saddlebags. And so I gotta just think about it. It's like, if I was going to do more adventure camping, I might do that. But usually if I go camping with this bike, I throw this bike on my trailer and I'll drive to the spot, and then we'll use, you know, take the bike off and do the trail riding, and then from there drive back. I won't ride like 6 hours on this bike to get somewhere, because it's like, this bike will do it, don't get me wrong, but there's only so much you can pack on a little dual sport. I don't care, you know. There's only so much you can pack. I did that kind of riding when I had my KLR, but that's a 650, so it can haul more shit. And I didn't have panniers on my KLR. I had soft luggage, and I had a big dry bag. But you know, I put my sleeping bag, the tent, all the camping bullshit. And like I said, it turns the bike into a 500-pound beast. So if you have all that weight, plus your bike is a 400-pound bike just being empty, you drop that a few times and you better be in some good shape, because it's going to kick your ass. I don't care who you are. I remember, now here's the road right here. That's Marion Valley Road there. If you hang a left there, goes by the gun club, and you can pick up the Otay truck trail to the right there. And I'm going to stay straight and take Marion Road and see where that wanders. It goes a ways. I don't think there's anything too technical, so I think my back should be able to handle that. It's just a dirt road, but that's going to be somewhere I check out the next time. And don't worry, I will shoot the video. So I'll run this video till we get into Hamul, and that's coming up. But there's not much going on after Hamul before you get into Spring Valley. But this is a beautiful day. It's not too hot. It's only in the 70s. I'm actually able to have my jacket on today. If I knew for sure I was going to go off-road, and as you know, if you've seen my other videos, I don't race or go that fast off-road, so I get hot, so I don't wear this adventure jacket. I have like a body armor that's just in full mesh, so it's relatively light. It's very lightweight, and it breathes. And I just put a motocross jersey over top of that, and that's all I wear. And like today, I just have my regular hiking boots. I don't have my riding boots, only because I knew I wasn't going to do any off-road stuff, and I pretty much stuck to my guns. I was very tempted to go on that road, but as you saw, I turned around and I was like, You know, it's just been a week since I put myself into a bad situation. All week it felt like, you know, I had a board strapped on my back. It was very, very difficult to like even get up from a chair. Luckily, I'm able to soak in a jacuzzi, and I will soak in a jacuzzi tonight too. So all you people that don't have back problems, you have no idea how lucky you are. And it's not just old people. I know younger riders, you know, people in their 30s that I didn't have any problems in my 30s, but you know, that was a long time ago. I've known a lot of people that had, you know, back surgeries, and that's a very, very painful recovery, that, you know. So, you know, and if you're doing anything off-road that's sort of on the gnarly or technical side, it can jar your back. It's a hard ride, you know. Even though you're on your foot pegs, you shouldn't be on your seat at that point, but it's still probably not the best thing to do with a bad back. So that's why I have to scale back what I do, you know. And that's why a lot of times when, you know, people say, oh, let's go riding, and I'll say, well, you know, what is it really about? And I don't want to go with people, and I don't want to ruin like their day, you know, because a lot of people that are into all that technical shit and love those steep rock climbs and everything, well, I want them to have their fun, you know, and I don't want to like be an anchor to them. But so I veto a lot of club rides and stuff, because since I've had so many physical problems, I've just made the commitment to know my limits and stay within my limits, so I don't have issues. You know, that makes sense to me. Now right there was another place that's normally really crowded for hiking, but I saw that it said it was closed for fire issues. It's sort of early to be already seeing closures for fire. In fact, all of this stuff is still green. It's not even all brown yet, which in a couple weeks it will be, because pretty much the rainy season is done. From here on out through the summer, it's just going to be hot and dry. Typical Southern California weather. So yeah, since I've had my bike, I've christened it quite a few times. It looks like it's, you know, fallen off the trail a few times, but that doesn't bother me. That's like, it gives a bike character. It always cracks me up when people are gonna, you know, they'll put an ad for their bike and they'll say, oh, some scratches. I mean, for God's sake, it's a dual sport. If there's no scratches on it, it means you've never taken it off road. These bikes are not meant to be polished on the weekend. There's no chrome on a dual sport. That's the beauty of why we have them. We can go anywhere, we can drop them, and we're not worrying about none of that kind of crap. That would be sort of a boring job, just looking at people. But, you know, the Border Patrol, they have a tough job. They got people shooting at them over these hills. It's that's the combat over there. There's, you know, it's not just people wanting to come over here for a better life. There's people coming over with guns and trying to bring drugs in. It's always been a cat and mouse kind of game. Now here's the other road. You make a left here and you go down to the Pito store. That's Otay Lakes Road, and that's the most popular place to pick up the Otay truck trail. There's a general store down on the left, and in the south side of the parking lot is where you pick it up. It starts off with a steep hill climb, and you got to watch those ruts, because that's where I took a little spill. But you should be alright if you just pay attention. I don't know if I was in La La Land or what. Shit happens, you know what I mean? If I was lucky enough to go riding with, say, like a younger person that was in good physical shape, and I dropped my bike and I said, "Oh, come over here and pick up my bike for me," then it would be like, all right. But that's not going to happen, and that's not fair either. I've helped a lot of people, especially living in Asia, you know, pick up bikes, fall off or whatever, and help them go, help them get up muddy places. I actually have a tow strap. You do what you can to help somebody when you see somebody in need. At least you should. But, you know, there's a lot of dirt bags. A lot of people are just all about me, 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 me. They don't give a shit about somebody else. I remember, you know, people, even if you break down in your car on the road, it was very common. People would stop. "Hey, you need some help? Need help changing your tire? Blah, blah, blah." And now people see you, they just keep going 100 miles an hour. They don't give a shit. A lot of that is the fear factor. Everybody is in a fear factor mode. They think everybody's out to kill them. You know, when we were kids, you never worried about being abducted. You stayed out until it was dark. No problem. We live in an entirely different world. But here we're getting into a pool. Up on the left up here is the casino. I don't care about casinos. I don't gamble, but a lot of people do. And after that, you're pretty much back into San Diego. Now that truck trail is on the other side of that mountain there. And the next route that I take, you'll see where that goes. I looked online on the typo map, and it just seems to come out close to the border. It doesn't go into any high elevations like the truck trail does. Now for me, this bicycling, oh man, I can't do that. I always wanted to be a good bicyclist, but man, it would just paralyze my ass. And you know, I go riding like 30 miles on the bike, right? And that's not really that far, but I could barely walk, and my whole ass was like numb. It felt like somebody gave me an epidural or something. And it's like, how do these people ride 100 miles? I mean, do they have a callus on their ass? You know, and I see the bikes that they're using, I see the saddles they're using, and there's no cushion whatsoever. I don't know. It's just a whole different breed of person, and I'm not in that club. So years ago, I sold all my road bikes. I had some decent road bikes. I had a Motorpecan, Yamaha bike, but heard me say before, if it doesn't have a throttle, I ain't getting on it. I see some people on trails that I'm on, you know, this dirt bike with, and they're on their mountain bikes. And